Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, July 7th to July 18th, reveal that Holly Jonas and Ari Horton will be held hostage while Tate Black and Doug Williams III brawl. Gwen Rischech will also seduce Xander Kyriakis, or at least try to. During the week of July 7-11, Xander will get into another shouting match with Sarah Horton Kyriakis before Gwen makes a duel comeback. Gwen will throw herself at Xander, but will he jump at the chance for familiar comfort or push her away? Regardless, Gwen will be a busy woman since she'll also send shockwaves to Chad DiMera and Julie Williams at the Horton house. Since Gwen apparently ended up with Julie's necklace, that'll bring more drama. It even looks like Gwen will get roped into a scheme for EJ DiMera at some point, so Days will make the most of her return stint. In the meantime, Sarah will get some romantic advice from Bonnie Kyriakis, while Xander clashes with Philip Kyriakis. Since Philip will be riled up in the aftermath, Sarah will push him to come clean about Xander really being the one who attacked him. After Leo Stark has a tough time caring for the baby, he'll get some help from Gabi Hernandez and eventually confide in Javi Hernandez about his childhood problems. Next, Days spoilers say the memory card could stir up some issues for Chanel Dupree DiMera, especially if the footage has undergone some manipulation. Chanel will end up dealing with Jada Hunter's grilling session, presumably regarding her visit to the DiMera mansion the night EJ was shot. Despite Doug's attempt to make Ari lose interest, she'll fight even harder for him instead. Ari won't get why Doug is suddenly trying to put distance between them, so she'll pounce on him and hope for another passionate encounter. Doug will surrender to a kiss and could potentially hook up with Ari again, but it'll be a mistake since she's on the radar of those loan shark goons. The week of July 14th to 18 should bring grave danger for both Ari and Holly since Doug can't pay up. Holly and Ari will wind up stuck in captivity together, so they'll fear for their lives while Doug frantically tries to find a solution. As for Tate, he'll be baffled when Sophia Choi lies about finding an adoptive couple who wanted to take their baby girl home right away. Sophia actually gave birth to the baby boy that Leo and Javi are taking care of, but she'll deceive Tate about that news with Melinda Trask's help. Holly and Ari's kidnapping crisis could actually work to Sophia's advantage, since it'll distract Tate in the coming episodes. Tate will figure out Doug must have gotten Ari and Holly tangled up in some danger, so he'll demand answers and ultimately brawl with him. As for EJ, whatever stunts he tries to pull won't be enough to stop the trial that's looming for Johnny. Days will bring out a courtroom set for this soon, so they'll really go all out for drama's sake. Days of Our Lives spoilers say EJ will do whatever it takes to make sure Johnny walks free, so stay tuned for updates on any other dirty moves along the way. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that EJ DiMera could cheat with true love Sammy Brady and force Belle Black to face a double betrayal. Duel fans know that Belle finally decided to follow her heart and ignore all the naysayers. EJ hasn't done anything to prove he deserves Belle's love and trust, but she's giving him those things anyway. However, Days could be gearing up for the perfect betrayal storm. Belle's already worried about Johnny DiMera's trial and suspects that EJ will dump her if his son goes to prison. With that in mind, EJ's mood toward Belle could change depending on how the trial's going. Belle's role as DA will definitely complicate things, so that could affect her romance with EJ and bring tension. Unfortunately, that may not be the only threat to Belle and EJ's relationship. Days spoilers say Sammy will make her way back to town, and we all know what can happen when she shows up in Salem. During Sammy's last trip home, she reconnected with Rafe Hernandez and landed back in bed with him. There's the potential for Sammy to reconnect with EJ in the bedroom next, especially since they'll both be concerned about what Johnny's up against. This could all build to EJ and Sammy hitting the sheets, so Belle may be in for a rude awakening. If Belle walks in on Sammy and EJ doing the deed, that'll be even better. Days spoilers have already been hinting that Belle and EJ's relationship isn't meant to last. It's just a matter of how and when EJ's romance with Belle is going to explode. Will Sammy ultimately play a role in derailing Belle and EJ's future? Sammy and EJ are always going to have a bond they can't fully ignore, so it'll be interesting to see if they surrender to any old feelings that bubble up. Sammy is arguably EJ's true love, not Belle, no matter how much Belle wants to believe EJ's changed and that they have a path forward together. A double betrayal could hit hard. Belle might face the sting of both her boyfriend and sister crossing the line, so stay tuned for updates on any bad news that's brewing involving EJ and Sammy. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Belle has more love life drama ahead of her. We have the latest Days of Our Lives spoilers from Monday, July 7th to Friday, July 11th. As Sophia deals with the emotional ramifications of her actions, Sarah and Xander seem to drift even further apart. Meanwhile, loved ones worry about Marlena. Leo offers up a confession, and EJ does his darndest to manipulate Belle. Read on for all the details. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Monday, July 7th. It sounds an awful lot like Sophia is beginning to regret her actions. But is it too late to change what she's done? Xander and Sarah find themselves butting heads yet again. Will this pair of Salem sweethearts ever be able to recapture their magic? Tate and Holly find themselves looking forward to their upcoming trip. Hope they aren't counting their proverbial chickens before they hatch. Chad and Kat continue to grow closer. Will she be tempted to share with him the secrets she's kept under tight wraps to this point? Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday, July 8th. When Gwen breezes back into Salem, how will her return impact those she left behind? Julie and Chad are about to have their socks knocked off. Leo is quickly finding out that babies aren't as easy to bend to one's will as he might like. Rafe has one word for Ari. Busted. When Alex and Stephanie turn up the heat, will they recreate another chapter from her steamy novel, Days of Our Lives? Spoilers for Wednesday, July 9th. Doug and Ari are definitely not on the same page. How do we know? Because he's working hard to keep her at arm's length. Is Belle right to be concerned about what's going on with her mom? Javi is about to get a little more insight into Leo's past. Just how much will the kinda sorta reformed bad boy reveal? When Xander reconnects with Gwen, will any hope we were holding out where his future with Sarah be flushed down the toilet? Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Thursday, July 10th. The walls are closing in on Johnny. Fortunately, Chanel is there to support her hubby. Will EJ pay attention to the warning he's issued by Tony? Jada and Belle make a stunning discover, which could have far-reaching implications. Summer's only just begun, and we've already got a sneak peek at Halloween in Salem. Who's on the wrong end of that knife? Something tells us it won't be pretty when Xander and Philip go head-to-head. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Friday, July 11th. Will Belle see exactly what EJ is up to when he tries to work her? Chanel is the latest person to be questioned by Jada. Will this lead to new revelations regarding EJ's shooting? Maggie once again finds herself butting heads with Xander, while Sarah hopes she can convince Philip to tell her what really went down the night of his beating. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for the week of July 7th, 25. Fans can expect Bonnie Lockhart-Kyriakis and Gwen Rizchek to return. Tony DiMera warns EJ DiMera. Plus, Sophia Choi is torn as she continues with the baby lie. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin with Gwen, who is returning. We know that very quickly she reconnects with Xander Cook Kyriakis. When Sarah Horton Kyriakis kisses Brady Black, Xander will likely smooch Gwen. That's not going to be Gwen's only story, though. In a summer promo, EJ gives Gwen orders. These orders have something to do with Steve Johnson's investigation. Over with Sophia, she will continue to feel conflicted about giving her baby away. Sophia went to Melinda Trask for help after the fact. The lawyer agreed to help the teenager, but it involved some lies. For one thing, Sophia had a boy, but tells Tate Black and Marlena Evans that the adoptive family took the baby girl away. So even if they suspect Sophia's lying, they will be looking for the wrong gender baby. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for the week of July 7th reveal that while Sophia is conflicted, Tate and Holly Jonas will get ready for their getaway. However, will Tate still go after learning that the baby is gone? Tate wanted to hold the baby and get a look at his face one time before giving him away. If they do go on the getaway, I wonder if Sophia will somehow sabotage it. Fans will also see Chad DiMera bond with Kat Green. Leo Stark struggles with the baby. Later, he opens up to Javi Hernandez about his past. Meanwhile, Rafe Hernandez busts Ari Horton. Bonnie has a hard truth for Sarah. Tony tries to warn EJ. Jada Hunter and Belle make a shocking discovery. Plus, Xander and Philip Kiriakis face off. Paulina Price shares a bombshell with Johnny DiMera. Plus, Jada interrogates Chanel Dupree DiMera. Oh no, is EJ's big plan to pin the crime on Johnny's wife? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of July 7th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Days of Our Lives fades. Spoilers are in for the week of July 7th, 2025. Fans can expect Gwen Rizchek to come back to Salem. Sophia Choi plays along with Melinda Trask's plan. Meanwhile, Bonnie Lockhart Kiriakis shares a hard truth with Sarah Horton Kiriakis. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's begin with a few returns. First of all, Gwen comes back to Salem. Right after coming back, she will reconnect with former flame, Xander Cook Kiriakis. There is more action for Gwen in the upcoming week, though. EJ DiMera tells Gwen to find out what Steve Johnson knows. There is also Stephanie Johnson, who questions her father about looking into Philip Kiriakis' company. Fans watched as Sophia put her newborn baby in the safe haven box at the fire station. Then, she ran to Melinda for help. The lawyer already has a plan and just needs Sophia to do as she's told. The last thing that fans saw, Sophia put on a fake belly. So, this will likely cover up the baby's true birth date. As people start connecting the dots about Javi Hernandez's baby, the birth date could be the one thing that stops the scheme from being exposed. While Melinda is trying to help Sophia, Tate Black deserves to know the truth. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the week of July 7th, reveal that Tate and Holly Jonas are excited about their getaway. However, I wonder if Sophia will somehow cause problems. During the pregnancy, Sophia was well behaved. However, a summer promo shows she reverts to her old ways. Fans will also see Chad DiMera and Kat Green deepen their bond. Leo Stark struggles taking care of the newborn. Eventually, Leo explains his past to Javi. Meanwhile, Ari Horton gets busted by Rafe Hernandez. Sarah gets a reality check from Bonnie Lockhart Kiriakis. Tony attempts to alert EJ. Jada Hunter and Belle Black reel over a discovery. Paulina Price has news for Johnny DiMera. Also, Jada grills Chanel Dupree DiMera. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of July 7th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Days of Our Lives, spoilers indicate that things are about to heat up in Salem, and here is 4 kisses that fan that flames. Duel is about to go from fizzle to sizzle, and 4 couple shakeup are leading the charge. Who are behind this shocking pairing, and just how far will they go? Keep reading to find out. Gabby Hernandez has not been happy with the takeover of DiMera Enterprises. Dealing with the Kiriakis brother has certainly turned out to be more hassle than progress. Now that Gabby has turned Johnny DiMera in for threatening his father, it seems Gabby needs another ally. After all, don't they say keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Just how close is Gabby willing to get what she wants out of Xander Kiriakis? After all, she and Philip Kiriakis just don't seem to be the way to go since Xander seems to be in charge. Will Gabby use her sex appeal to get just what she wants out of Xander now that he and Sarah Horton have split? It seems that Brady Black and Sarah are about to kiss as well. Of course, these two are going to once again pretend to be a couple. This didn't work out so well that last time, but hey, it's enough to get Xander riled up and ready for a fight. Can we expect Xander's baseball bat to make a reappearance anytime soon? Spoilers suggest that Brady and Sarah could be heading for a real romance, which is not going to settle well with Xander at all. Will Xander finally back down? He and Sarah seems to be over here, at least for the moment. Could Brady end up playing a much larger role in Sarah's life than Xander could ever predict? Now that Gabby is working with Tony DiMera, it seems that she may get a little carried away when working on their plan, as she later kisses Philip as well. Unfortunately, it appears that Gabby may develop real feelings for Philip that completely complicate things for her and Tony. Can Tony get Gabby under control before she blows the whole plan? Gabby's plan may end up being enough of a distraction to help her and Tony instead of hurt them. Could Gabby's little play between brother manage to get them at each other's throats and distract them enough for Gabby and Tony to pull off this plan? Will Gabby and Tony have to come up with something else to get DiMera back under their control? Kat Green and Chad DiMera have not had the easiest of relationships. Considering when she first came to town, she was pretending to be his dead wife. However, these two have been growing a lot closer despite the warnings of his in-laws, and they will certainly take things to the next level. Kat may be surprised because she still feels guilty over everything that happened because of her attempts to save her mother. Will Kat and Chad finally get a chance at romance, or will that fizzle when the truth about her job with the ISA comes out? EJ has a plan to take back DiMera that involves Johnny. Meanwhile, Gwen returns to Salem and sets her sights on someone familiar, according to the Days of Our Lives spoilers. Plus, it looks like something might be ailing Marlena and Sophia's newborn baby. Here's your day's video preview for the week of July 7-11, 2025. Tony and EJ discuss the family business, specifically its takeover by the Kyriakis clan. What is vital is that we get DiMera back, Tony tells EJ. It looks like EJ is already calculating a plan. Well, there is one option, he responds to his brother. Johnny. Remember, Johnny has recently gone to work for Xander at the newly formed Titan DiMera. Chad arrives home at the Horton house with a familiar face in tow, Gwen. Surprise, coos Gwen with a smile, as she greets a stunned and not too happy Julie. Happy Independence Day, adds Gwen. It looks like former Playboy Alex is ready to commit to Stephanie. Steph, I love you, he reveals to his surprised girlfriend. Will she return the sentiment? Marlena appears unsteady on her feet when she stands up from the couch. I'm fine, she assures a concerned Belle. But is she? Really? Belle isn't so sure. Is there something you're not telling me? She asks her mother. Meanwhile, across town, Leo can't seem to soothe baby Tesoro, no matter how hard he tries. Ari covers her ears as the infant cries. Just give him to me, says Gabby, reaching out for the child. I'm worried something's really wrong with him, retorts Leo. Several Salem couples share passionate kisses. Doug and Ari, Alex and Stephanie, Chanel and Johnny, Tate and Holly, and Xander and Gwen. It looks like the little vixen doesn't waste any time reconnecting with her ex. The days of Leo and Javi's lives are in for a major change. But fortunately for them, they're getting the Days of Our Lives storyline that a beloved gay couple before them got gypped of. While Sarah and Xander head to Splitsville, Leo and Javi have swooped in and taken the reins as a Salem super couple. Sure, they had a rocky start, but now the couple is stronger than ever. In fact, they're strong enough to become foster dads. After Sophia secretly gave birth and left her baby at the Salem Fire Department, he was found by Javi, who generously offered to look after the newborn. The major life decision came as a shock to Leo, but once Javi named the little boy Tesoro, Leo seemed all in. After a messy few years that included a back-from-the-dead amnesiac, a hospital marriage, and a wrongful prison sentence, Will and Sunny were happily married and raising a young Ari in Salem. But as life calmed down around them, the husbands decided it was time to grow their family. Throughout 2019, Will and Sunny had a short-lived adoption storyline that came to a sudden end when the adoption agency learned they were two dads. It was during this same time that Allie was pregnant with a baby boy, who she generously offered to give to her brother and brother-in-law to raise. Fast forward to Allie giving birth and deciding to keep baby Henry, and despite crushing Will and Sunny's dad dreams, all was forgiven and wrapped nearly in a bow when the couple left Salem by the fall of 2020. Now, it seems they've still only be raising Ari in Arizona, and there was never any word again on their hopes to have another child. While Leo and Javi's time as dads may also come to an abrupt end, at least they were given the chance. Got a red-hot theory about your favorite soap storyline? Email news@soaphub.com. Yours could be our next hot topic. Here are the latest comings and goings casting news from all 5 daytime dramas: The Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, The Young and the Restless, and Beyond the Gates. Find out if any of your favorite actors and actresses from yesteryear are returning to the shows you watch, if any newcomers have been cast in contract, recurring, or day player roles, or if any popular performers are about to make their exit. Emily O'Brien returns to Days as the conniving Gwen on Tuesday, July 8th. The actress originally began playing Jack's scheming daughter back in 2020. The character was written off in October of 23 when Gwen abruptly left town. However, in the very same episode, O'Brien made her debut as Teresa Donovan. Expect to see O'Brien interact with Casey Moss' JJ and Paul Telfer's Xander this week. After a lengthy absence, Judy Evans pops back in as Bonnie Kyriakis on Wednesday, July 9th. Look for the actress to share scenes with Lindsay Godfrey's Sarah. Eva LaRue has wrapped up her run as GH's Natalia Ramirez. Her character died after ingesting a lethal dose of pills and alcohol last week. LaRue debuted as Blaze's mother in February 2024. She is best known for her role as Maria Santos Gray on All My Children. The role of Maxie Jones has been recast, albeit temporarily. Nicole Paggi, who stepped in as the character back in December 23, is once again back on the scene. She made her first appearance on July 3rd, replacing Kirsten Storms, who was unavailable for filming due to scheduling conflicts. The casting switch is expected to be short-term. Finn Carr is back as Rocco Falconeri. Look for Dante and Lulu's to make a bold move on Friday, July 11th. Melissa Ordway, who's been featured prominently as Abby Newman Winters, in scenes at Kane's French compound, updated viewers on her status with Y&R during a Q&A on her Instagram stories. The actress initially reported that she'd taken off contract back in November 2024. I went back for a few episodes in May that have begun to air now, but they have not asked me to come back for any more, shared Ordway. Love to play Abby and would love to come back if they ask me. Meanwhile, a super couple is getting more airtime this week. Michael Damian and Laura Lee Bell are back as Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair. Look for the duo to appear in prominent scenes on Tuesday, July 8th and Thursday, July 10th. On the exit front, it's a wrap for J. Eddie Peck. The actor, who returned to the soap as Cole Howard in 2023, has been written off the show. His character died of Legionnaire's disease last week. As Luna's downward spiral reaches its peak on B&B, a couple of key players are back. Ashley Jones returns as Dr. Bridget Forrester, Brooke and Eric's daughter. She airs on Wednesday, July 9th and Thursday, July 10th. Cassandra Creech is also back on the scene as Dr. Grace Buckingham. Look for the actress to appear on Wednesday, July 9th and Thursday, July 10th. Here is your Days of Our Lives spoiler sneak peek video for the week of July 7 to 11, 2025. After leaving town in 2023 due to a disastrous marriage to Dmitri von Leukner, Gwen returns to Salem this week, ready to torture Julie once again. Surely, she won't find a way to take up residence in the Horton home just because she is Jack's daughter. All Chad can do is roll his eyes when he sees Gwen. But Xander may have found an ally when he needs it most. Gwen wastes no time reuniting with her former fiancé as they engage in a passionate kiss. Is this what will eventually prompt Sarah to throw caution to the wind and kiss Brady? Expect to see other passionate kisses this week as Holly and Tate reunite. Alex declares his love, and Ari makes sure that Doug III won't forget about her. Marlena is a woman in grief, but is that really what is accounting for her physical problems? Sarah told Marlena that there didn't seem to be much wrong, but that Marlena needed to take care of herself during this difficult time. However, when Marlena is with Belle, she seems to lose her balance. Belle is concerned about her mother, but Marlena looks angry when Belle questions her too much. Marlena also just lost her temper with Kristen, even though it might have been justified. Is Marlena going through a personality change? The Hernandez house is no longer a quiet house, now that little Tesoro is living there. Ari can't handle listening to a baby scream and cry all day. while Gabby just wants to help and offer a woman's touch. Leo fears something could be wrong with the newborn. At least Sophia's baby is being well taken care of by people who seem to want to do the job right. But will Sophia start to have second thoughts about abandoning her baby at the fire station?